Evening, everybody. This is my last rounds for the night before I call it an evening. Hopefully I'll get to get out here on the set. Shout out to all of the MCs that have events going on, bike night, set night, Hawks MC, all of the clubs. I'm about to shut it down. Hopefully we will have everything finished up. This is part 2 of a video that I made a while ago, and it got a lot of responses, and I'm thankful that people paid attention on Facebook as well as TikTok. I'm going to ask everybody to please share this video. One of the things that I have been involved in, I'm pouring some juice here, in my consultations, I have noticed that many older men are having problems with erectile dysfunction. And we all know it's because of the diet. But now I'm beginning to get more individuals who are dealing with complications of lung damage and health issues because a lot of these young men and women are smoking a lot of weed. And this weed that they're smoking, synthetic or natural, is causing a lot of problems with their health. I just had to give a person some herbs to help them out to clean out their lungs. And I was informed from a parent about a child that they were dealing with. And unfortunately, they are dealing with some health complications. And also a person who is pregnant. And they're dealing with some issues right now as we speak. These issues are causing some major health issues. And because of the issues that they're dealing with, of course, they're being told that they're going to have to make some adjustments. And these adjustments can cause a lot of financial burdens. So I'm giving you all this video, and I want you all to pay attention to this video very carefully, because let me get this container. This video that I'm making is for all parents. This is about the birds and the bees, but this is not for games. This is serious. I learned this technique when I was 29 years old. And I learned this technique from someone who is in the porno industry. Don't laugh. And when I learned about this technique, me being about health, I learned about the benefits of this. And this isn't something that porno stars do. I'm talking about the men. This technique is from Asia, India. Many societies practice this technique. Also boxers, they're told to do this. It's called withholding. Some people call it no-fap. This technique is a technique based upon a man, before he ejaculates, withholding himself so that his semen doesn't come out of his body. It actually reverses itself and goes back inside by going, if you know how ejaculation works, and I'm not trying to be weird, you know that when a male is about to ejaculate, it's somewhat of a sensor that triggers off the body, and that triggering is the actual sperm traveling from the sac, quote unquote, up into the spinal column. And if you don't mind, I'm going to use this glass as an example. Let's say that this is the head, the man's head, and this is his back. Okay? Now, get to the bell light. Let's say that this is the phallus. And in the midst of being sexually active, the phallus has that tingling sensation before you, quote unquote, bust. And the sperm, before it leaves out of the shaft, it goes through the spinal column, travels to the head, and receives brain cells, and then shoots back down to the spinal column, and then shoots out the phallus. Now that is an easy explanation of ejaculation. Parents, before I go any further, I want you all to please share this with your children. This is an education and entertainment video. I am not a doctor. I am not a physical therapist. I'm a person who survived stage 2 colon cancer, and I'm celebrating 5 years. These are tips that I learned that I use to this day that has helped benefit me, and I'm giving you all this so that you can benefit from it as well. My goal with this video is to warn mothers as well as fathers that there are people that are out here who are in very, very bad conditions. They are in very unhealthy environments. And these environments have taught these people how to be manipulative. You see a lot of this in the sports industry, specifically basketball players, baseball players, and football players, where you have these groupies and these young women that get these men because they have a lot of money, and they get impregnated by these men, and now they have money for the rest of their lives because they have these athletes' children. I want you all to consider, if you have a child that is about to be in a very, very lucrative lifestyle, whether it's sports, it's about to get a lot of money, and their lives are literally about to change for the better, I am cautioning you to please take into consideration that there are individuals that are out here that will take advantage of this opportunity, and they see it as a way of coming up. And they look good, their body's in shape, they smell good, they know how to treat a man until they get what they need from him. And there are many examples. Right up until this point, you have young men who are very, very, very horny. And they will get a hard on as soon as the wind blows, as soon as a woman winks her eye at him, as soon as she touches his arm. You know this. You have to be ready for this, because they're going to do whatever they want, whether it's a male or a female. All that you can give is your guidance. But remember, you at one point was young too. And some of you all had babies and you wasn't ready for it, but you dealt with it. And I'm saying this in the best way possible. You had to adapt to a new lifestyle because you became a parent. Some of you all realize that I cannot allow my child to make the mistakes that I made, and I'll be damned if I allow this person, whoever it may be, to infiltrate my child and mess up his or her life. And some of you all were still stuck in your youth, your youthful mindset, and weren't thinking about, my child is watching everything that I do, good and bad, and I got to make a decision so that they don't mess up. Instead, you only thought about yourselves. You still wanted to party like you was young, forgetting that you had a child, and you took your responsibility and you threw it on somebody else, ruining their lives that they already had plans for. So now what I want you all to think about is that person who has a child, who had a child, who has not finished anything in their lives, and they've given this responsibility to somebody who's already done this already. I want you to think about the many days and nights that you, instead of you enjoying your life, you have to be someone else's parent that's not taking responsibility for themselves. I want you to think about the young men who haven't grown up, who are now becoming fathers, and they may not have a father figure in their house. So they don't know what manhood is about. And now they're bringing home a baby. And think about the young woman that is giving birth to this child that you are about to be a grandparent to. And realize that this young girl is just as dumb as the child that I gave birth to that is now about to be a father. Let's reverse that. The daughter who has not finished anything in her life is now bringing a baby into your atmosphere that you had nothing to do with. And they expect you to take care of them because they're still a kid. Though they didn't think about them being a child when they opened up their legs. And some of you have children that purposely is trying to catch a person and get that person caught up by getting pregnant. Here is what I, as a man who has used this technique since I was 29 years old, actually 27, and has not had a baby, hasn't had any venereal diseases, and haven't had any situations with any woman that I was with that I wasn't married to. And if you use this, parents, if you teach your young sons this technique, and I'm specifically saying sons, you will save yourself from a lot of misery, and I do mean misery. These young girls out here know that these young boys are stupid. A woman thinks 3 years ahead of a man and are sometimes 10 years in their thought mode and in maturity. Don't think for 1 minute that these women do, these young girls don't know what they got in between their legs. Don't think that some of these young girls are not suffering from what the streets fooled them into being into, including their no good friends, girlfriends. Don't think that these young girls are not hip to the game. And just like a chick at the bar looking for somebody to buy her drink, they looking for the next sucker so they can get some itty bitty cash from, so they can sit on their lazy asses and do whatever the hell they want to do. And you will be suffering because this young individual who ain't about ish then trapped your son who was too dumb to realize he was being gamed. So I'm going to show you all something that I need every parent to sit down and share this video with you, with your sons. Because if you care about your sons and you do not want to be a grandma too soon, and you don't want to be taking care of somebody else's baby, listen to this advice. And I'm sure that many men who are watching this video are going to agree, yeah, he know what he's talking about. When you enter a woman, you are entering into her emotional field. Women are emotional creatures. When you are sexually active with a young woman, you are entering into a stratosphere, and I'm using that for lack of a better word, that is engulfed with intense emotions, especially if they're teenagers. They're still learning themselves. And they're fucking like rabbits. They don't know themselves. They don't know themselves from a hole in the wall. And you young men will put your shit in any hole that's open. Outside of the diseases, because people now don't know how to clean their sexual parts. Or the fact that they don't know how to clean themselves from sexual vampires. Or any negative energy that is inside the womb. Not to mention men who do not clean their penises properly. They're putting their hands on their penises when they're taking a leak. And they're not washing their hands before they touch it. So now the sensitive area is now filled with germs and bacteria. And now they're having unprotected sex with these young girls. So now you have to hope that they don't get a yeast infection and their pH balances are off. Women, I know you know what I'm talking about. The vaginal region has thousands of nerves, making your vaginal region extremely sensitive. But it also absorbs whatever it is penetrated by. So if you are being penetrated, women, and you are being penetrated by a man that is not clean and they don't use a condom while they're entering you, you are putting yourself at risk if you are not washing yourselves up before sexual foreplay. Men, women, vaginal regions are extremely sensitive and can get dirty very quickly. Because it is a womb. It is inward. That is what the term female means. Inward male. Their phallus is inward. Your phallus is outward. Inside that vaginal region are nerves. Inside that vaginal regions are liquids that protect the vaginal region. And once you penetrate this region, and you are unclean, and she is unclean, you got a lot of problems. If she isn't wise enough to wash herself before she penetrates you, she is doing you a dangerous misservice, and you as well. Men, wash your regions before you have sex. I don't care if you using your ding-a-ling or your ting-a-ling. Clean yourself before you get yourself in trouble. Stop watching porno and thinking this is how you have sex. That is the worst thing that can happen to you. There are plenty of people now that wish they would have thought right before they opened their legs to a dude that didn't know what the hell he was doing. And in my next video, I'll talk about the fact that most of you all do not know how to have sex. I'll work on that one later. But this one is for those who have young boys that are in good shape, that are athletic, that got some money, because you make sure they stay fresh to death 24 hours a day. They are being looked at. And they are like food to wolves. When you are having sex, I want you all to think about your penis, men. This is your penis. In between the penis, well, but before the penis, there is the ball sack. Okay? You see how I got this? Your sperm is coming from this area, and it shoots out. Feels good. You love it. Right? But before you bust, between the sac and your anus, I'm going to make a little shape here. This is your anal region. Okay? There is a small chi point that locks in between the anus and the ball sack. And if you apply that pressure onto that area before you ejaculate and hold the tip of your phallus like this, you can do this too, but don't kill yourself, like this, it will stop the semen from jumping out of your tip. It will end up, because your heartbeat is pressing on so hard to push the sperm out, because that's what it's supposed to do, it will begin to pulsate. It'll feel good. Don't get me wrong, it'll feel good. But if you're holding and locking in that area, in between your nut sack, your ball sack, and your anal region, right in that middle, you're going to feel a pulse. That's the sperm trying to come out. If you do this while holding or withholding, and do small equal breaths of 3 seconds holding, 3 seconds exhaling, 3 seconds holding, 3 seconds inhaling, the heart will begin to slow down. You will feel a beautiful sensation, but it'll slow down, it'll relax, and the weaker sperm cells may come out a little bit, but the stronger cells will go back. This will help you with your stamina should you decide you want to have sex again or another round. It will also help with your blood pressure. It will also help you with your healing factors. It has been taught that people who practice this, they heal quickly. Their energy levels are higher. Their strength levels are higher. This is the mystery of the story of Samson. It wasn't just the hair. And it also has beneficial effects with blood flow going back to the brain and actually filling up areas in your hair. This is why a lot of athletes go bald, because they're fucking like crazy and they're losing the energy that's coming from this area. Do your study. You'll find out I'm not just saying this. But if you practice doing this, and I'm speaking to people who are in relationships, and you express this with your loved one, and she knows and she learns how to make you feel the best effect from this sexual experience, men, you will have orgasms. Men, you will have a beautiful experience that will be almost spiritual. And if your woman really cares about you, she will appreciate this opportunity, because if she likes being sexually active like you like being sexually active, she'll appreciate that you're ready to go for round 2, and in some cases round 3, because your logistics, meaning you'll be able to stay erect longer and you'll be harder. And I'm sure every woman would like that. But if you are a young man, you need to learn how to withhold. I'm sorry I have to go like this. If you need to practice, you already know what to do. You've been doing it anyway. Learn how to withhold. It will save you. Parents, if you take this advice, you will not have to talk to your friends about your son just impregnated a chick, or the fact that you will have someone who may have a future outside of the hood that can get out the hood and give you possibly a better life. Learn these techniques. I have learned this when I was 27 years old, and I have been using it ever since, and I ain't had a goddamn problem with a woman since. And I don't have any kids. What am I saying here? I'm saying, men, learn how to have sex with a woman. I am going to give you a technique. I'm going to give you a stroke count. There's a lot of them. I'm going to give you one to start off with. 10 strokes, 5 strokes, 5 strokes, 10 strokes. Learn that technique with a woman. Second round, 10 strokes, 30 hard strokes. I'll say that again. 10 strokes, 30 hard strokes. Not jackrabbit fast. 30 nice, rhythmic, hard strokes. Pay attention to your girl. If she's bringing you in more, she's enjoying it. She's going to end up riding you while you're riding her. Learn these strokes. Learn these strokes. 10 strokes, 5 strokes. Stop, 5 strokes, 10 strokes. That's your rhythm. Learn that. You learn this, then you go to 10 strokes, pause, 30 hard strokes. Rhythmic. Share this video. Learn this. It will help you in the end. It will help you stay longer erect. And it will also teach you how to learn your woman when you are penetrating her. And always talk to your woman while being intimate, because you want to know if she is enjoying your experience. Stick with that technique. Should you start to feel a little slight jingle, pause, lock in, three inhale for 3 seconds, hold, exhale 3 seconds, relax. It will help make your Jimmy stronger. The more you do this, the better you will be. I'm not teaching y'all nothing else. I'm just giving you all this game so that you will be better sexually. I can't stop you as a teenager. It's doing your thing. But I don't want to hear about no more young men whose lives have been paused because the female you was with wasn't shit and she got you. And you know you wasn't trying to have no babies with her because you wasn't trying to really be with her like that. It was a hit it and quit it. So learn how to hit it lock in, pause, finish up, clean up, and go about your business. If that's what you're on, this will save your life. This is one of the most controversial videos that I've ever made because I'm tired of seeing young men get their lives ruined by nothing-ass girls. And women, I'm going to make a video for you too because there's a lot of nothing-ass knucklehead boys that are out here whose parents didn't give them anything except some clothes and some food, but not no knowledge. I hope you all take this video, you learn from it, share it, because I care about you. With that being said, We Ride Biker for Life Mango Tequila, available now. Inbox for details. We Ride Biker for Life Special Edition Cognac, available now. Inbox for details. We Ride Biker for Life Exclusive Vodka, available now. Inbox for details. Oh, we got more. We got more, baby. We got more. And We Ride Biker for Life exclusive whiskey, available now. Inbox for details. All right? All mineral infused because I care about you. All right? With that being said, I need everybody to be careful out here. The cops are out. Please make sure that you all are okay. Y'all doing good. Be safe out here, and I command you to be great. I command you to be prosperous, and I command you to be greater today than you were yesterday.